Hello everybody, this is Microsoft J, here to commentate some ADV Emerald Open pools. For those who don't know, this is a draft tournament. So you have 90 points to draft 8 mons, you're put into a random pool of 5 people, you all do a big draft, then you're reshuffled into a new pool of 5 people. So you do know everyone's teams, everyone's drafts, but you don't know their exact teams. It's an interesting format. Just wanted to throw my hat into the commentary ring, scout what my other poolmates are doing, and I would say this is one of the most interesting matches. Goldmason has the strongest draft, in my opinion, followed by Martinvtran. I don't know the outcome of these games, but as you can see, everyone's draft is on screen, so this is a game of perfectly imperfect information, and I'm very keen to start these replays. So let's take a look. No surprise to see lead Tar into lead Flori. Thunder makes me think Boatar, so it could be Thunder Sub Punch or something. No fire coverage, we would have seen it. And there's a second Thunder, not a substitute, interestingly enough. Maybe the health is worth something to Goldmason here. And Milo is even less surprising, like such a good defensive core. Probably see Registeel in the back as well. There's the Vape though. This is one of the... I think Vape is secretly one of the best mons in draft. Like, Sub-Wish is such a potent set in these weird, not quite ADVOU formats, but it's actually maybe an offensive spec on the Vape. And like I said, really not surprised to see Registeel. Klops as well. Martinvtran looks like classic stall build, spinner, spiker, walls, spin blocker. There's the Vileplume though. I was hoping Goldmason would actually bring this mon. You know, a sleep setter can really turn the tides of momentum in your favor. Granted, this is sleep. A simple Leech Seed though. Getting burnt on the plume is kind of bad. You would really hope that you get more and more free clicks, but you got to expect a Will-O-Wisp, so... There's the Donphan. Now, does this Donphan have a way to hit the Klops? Like, Toxic is great, although I imagine this is a Rest Dust Klops. I was thinking more something along the lines of HP Ghost, potentially. Maybe not. You really don't want to get burned on the Donphan, so an exit there is pretty astute. Sorry, my mouse has been in the way the whole time. And yeah, there's Raikou coming in on a recov, the perfect turn. Now this win condition is so nuts, I think. How chipped is the Registeel? Not chipped at all, so... Yeah, simple Thunderbolt's just gonna put Registeel into that crucial... Eventually to that crucial range. I think the win condition for Martin is to get Registeel and Tar into range of like a +1 Thunderbolt. And then that way, +1 behind the sub. No doubt this is electric ice coverage. Hits everything so far for neutral or better on the Raikou. But you have to break through these walls first. You can't just counter-stall a Dusclops with a Burnt Milotic. It doesn't work, I think. Unless, like, you could run it out of Sleep Talks? Potentially? It is Refresh. Okay, so never say never. Ooh, does call a Wisp though. Pretty lucky for Martin. He's in such a good spot. Layer up. Healthy Dusclops, healthy team overall, I think. He's really not taken... He's not taken chip anywhere except his Fori and a bit of his Arcanine. So what's the call? It is to get the Raikou in on the recover again. Really great call-outs. Not even call-outs, just setting up perfect plays and going for them. A double though? A great double. You've got the Arcanine on the Vileplume. Yeah, Goldmason did draft a Spiker, right? Maybe they didn't actually. I'm curious as to what the last is. I'm blanking on... I can bring up the image again, but I'm blanking on what in his draft could be the last. And yeah, HP Grass mid-grounding the Tar. No doubt. Tar in. But it's just it's a free entry for Cradle. The structure is so solid for Martin. Gonna stay in. Is this a mixed Tar with yes, it is. Probably Pursuit actually to trap the Dusclops, get it eliminated, but it looks like Goldmason is focused on this Claydol, getting rid of that instead. Not a bad play, because the Claydol is quite solid into you know, Registeel and that sort of thing. But I mean, I feel like the trading down here is just so good for Martin. Donphan in. Might spin, might Quake. He'd probably just Quake at this hour. Yeah. I mean, the damage is solid, but man, like, you cannot get Wisp on this Donphan. Maybe it could be Aroma on the, ooh, crucial miss. Crucial miss for Goldmason, staying alive in this best of one, by the way. You only get one chance here. It could be Aroma on the Vileplume. On a slow structure like this with a Registeel and you're getting Wisped everywhere, I wouldn't be surprised. High speed though, you have to throw your plume away. And it's getting pretty dire because this Vape is going to go to the moon. Looks like it's hitting everything for neutral or better. And Clops in on Registeel, you do parry it, but Dusclops is not going to get tossed down, so the Registeel needs a different damage option, and I don't know if it has it. Man, what was Goldmason think? I guess Sutar was sort of the be-all and end-all for the Clops. I'm worried Goldmason doesn't have another way to hit it. I guess you get some good Rest Talk RNG here, and that might be your out. With the Registeel not super chipped, you're not the worst into Raikou right now, but the second you get bad into Raikou, and there's the Wisp. Oh no. Martin is just, he has the perfect bring here. It is meant last. Yeah. Like I said, one of the strongest drafts. Bringing in the Ments on a rest. DD, I would think. Because Mixed Ments is a little weak into Raikou, so DD makes sense, although what? Another big, it was a cold Wisp, so luck, anti-luck. Is he gonna dance again? No. A simple HP Fly, chunks for more than half, and this turn the Wisps connect the... This might be over. I'm not too sure what Goldmason's win condition is anymore. Just gonna keep fanging it into the Clops. But just, oh man, I reckon this one's wrapped. Was it Aroma on the Vileplume? It had to have been, right? This team is so weak into Wisp. Just gonna try to ramp up even more. Maybe get some crits. I think, you know, hindsight's 2020, but some sort of double into the Sutar to catch a Clops entry was probably Goldmason's only out to like crush this structure. And Arcanine's coming into Registeel. Well, I was about to say every time. Is that the first Earthquake we've seen? No, not at all. What am I talking about? Yeah, it was doing that earlier. So great mid-ground. Ment is going to tank the Flamethrower, but I mean, it's not Mixed Ments. Like, you can Earthquake and you can hit something for 20, 13, not even. If the Registeel is like Curse... It's mixed. I didn't even see that earlier. Thunderbolt on Registeel is kind of nuts. I mean, you can get the Registeel in on a Surf. It's not taking much, but if it's not rest last, I'm not too sure what the game plan is. Goldmason's gonna fight it out, play for crits or something, just chip heal this Registeel up, but. Boy, oh boy, let me start the music again. I didn't think it would last this long, to be perfectly honest. That's the Google image results. For an overlay that never was. And we might be in for a long and tedious endgame as Martin chips away at Goldmason's last Last mon. A Wisp on the Reggie still probably seals it, I'll be honest. It had to have been. If it's not Aroma on the Vileplume, then I'll eat my hat. What can you say? I'm tempted to go fast mode. But wait a minute. Does that matter? I wonder if that matters. Is it Boom Last on Reggie still? Maybe you Boom. Entry point for Donphan. It is, of course. And that kills through the burn? I guess Raiku's not bulky if you do standard spread. The Vaporeon though, I mean, you have nothing for the Vaporeon. It has Ice Beam. It'll just surf you, it doesn't even need to mid-ground. I reckon this is the last turn of the, yeah, I reckon. I would say well fought for both players. Martinvtran had some crucial early maneuvering, which allowed them to win this set pretty comfortably, I'd say. The momentum was never in Goldmason's favor. So a pretty interesting replay. Goldmason with one of the best drafts against probably the second strongest draft in this pool with such a great defensive core. Spinner, Spiker, Wall, Wincon, another Wall. You know, 4 walls and a hot can of soup. This was like some sort of Sutar. Standard Milo, looks like a pretty standard Donphan, and then the DD Mets was the Wincon on the table, but without spikes against a core like this is tough. One layer and you know, if let me bring up the image again. No, Goldmason did not draft a spiker, so when you're up against a defensive structure like this, I think one layer can take you to the moon, and without it, Martin can switch for all eternity. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did watch, interesting pool to keep track of. Try to catch some other replays soon. Thanks for watching, guys.